What is the correct transformation of "do you know how to drive" according to the provided language rules? Let's take our phrase and, going through our rules one by one, make any necessary changes. We begin with our phrase, "Do you know how to drive?" In accordance with rule number 1, the subject and nouns are marked by an E sound at the beginning of the word. We mark our subject, you, with an E, giving us, "Do you know how to drive?" Rule number 2 tells us not to include articles in our sentence, but we don't have any to begin with, so we don't have to worry about that. Our next rule focuses on simple versus progressive verbs. We have two verbs in our sentence, know and drive. Both of our verbs are simple verbs. They use the base form of the verb as opposed to adding an ing to describe an ongoing action, like I am driving. As we can see that simple verbs receive an oli, we can rewrite our sentence as, "Do you know oli how to drive oli?" Finally, our last rule focuses on tense. This sentence is trickier than usual as it's technically an interrogative statement, meaning it's asking a question. While it's still technically in the present tense with the present verb do, we can add bore, our present tense indicator, but keep in mind that if one of our choices doesn't include the word bore, that doesn't necessarily negate it as an option. As the rules don't tell us where this present tense marker goes, we'll just put it at the beginning of our sentence and see where our choices put it. All things considered, we're left with bore do you know oli how to drive oli. With this in mind, let's take a look at our choices. A.
Bor you a ku know how drive oli.
This sentence adds e after you, not before, and adds a ku to the verb know to make it progressive, not simple. This could be marked as incorrect. B.
You know oli bor how ku drive.
This choice adds ku to the verb drive this time. Again, as both of our verbs in this sentence are simple, not progressive, this can be marked as incorrect. C.
You a know oli how drive oli.
Like choice A, this choice adds e after the you and not before it, which goes against rule number 1. This can be marked off. And D.
You know oli drive oli.
Although it doesn't look like the answer we came up with, this choice doesn't actively go against any of the established rules. It doesn't include the present tense marker bore, but again, as we've established, because this is an interrogative statement, the tense is less imperative. As all is technically in order here, we can mark choice D as our final answer.